14 days walking.
14 days walking.
It's officially 2 weeks of walking.
Woo. And let me tell you, okay, so we've learned about every 4, maybe max 5 days, take a day off. That's working for us. You regain your knees, your legs, and it takes away the pain of the experience in a way. I mean,
just the kind of constant, like bang, 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 this is all you're doing. You take a day and just sit in the city and
sit in the city,
have a cup of coffee,
make
go
a
to the
painting,
cathedral, sleep in one morning. I mean, you know. Yeah,
I mean, you have to. I mean, it's just, it's something to look forward to. I would say also kind of gives you that extra little gas to get down the way. Today we're cutting it. How many miles?
We have a really long stage today. It's 31 kilometers.
31 kilometers.
Which makes 19 miles.
Which is a lot.
So that's way too much for us, and we know that. Some of this I'm learning is dictated by where you can find accommodations. And if you have a long stage, I think we're going the wrong way.
No.
Yeah, we are.
Huh?
We're going the wrong way.
Oh, is this the curved building? Ooh.
I think that was important what I was saying.
I did too. You changed it.
Well, we were going the wrong way, so I had to get us back on track. Some of it's dictated by where you can find accommodations, and if you're on a long stage, you have to see. We're still not going the right way, Raymond.
Well, easy to get turned around. Beautiful sunny spring morning in Burgos. We're headed to the bus station to take the bus to the next town. Buses are fairly inexpensive. They're like €2 almost to go, I don't know, 30 minutes, which for walking that could be an extra 2 hours. So we've sort of learned to take a little bit of the pain off. Yeah, this is right. And then take a right.
Cute little setups of the flowers.
Oh, we should take a. So they have a festival welcoming in spring. So they've just created these. Oh, these are little cheap.
So cute.
I mean, they're live too. These are real flowers. You could start to use one of those in the front yard.
Those are really cute.
Yeah, so we're taking the bus to knock off a few kilometers.
Yeah, otherwise you're walking 19 miles today, and we hit a wall. To get into Burgos was 14 miles, and
that was a lot.
13.9 and miles, and you know it was hurting. So that's really our max to be able to enjoy the mall. But you're also where you can find accommodations.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna have a little bitty short day, and then sometimes you're gonna have this long day where you gotta like get some taxi help or some bus help.
Yeah, we've hitchhiked a couple times, and we've taken
and many people are doing that. It's not
it's not cheating.
If you want to go in and go back to where you started that night, so that you can have a place to stay, more power to you, because you don't want to lose the clicks. But I feel like we walk around enough in the cities to make up for any lost kilometers.
In the last town that we were in, the poor woman had a reservation and they didn't honor it. They had lent her room out, and she was fortunate that one of the other employees, that one of the other albergues gave her a ride to Burgos, which is here, and so she didn't have a choice. She had to skip a section. She was extremely fortunate because it was probably about a €30 bus taxi, and she got a free ride from somebody who had some sympathy for her. So anyway, so we're headed to the bus station, and you know, the buses are fairly cheap, probably less than €2 a person. predictable enough. What else?
I will still walk probably 11 or 12 miles today. Sorry, I have to talk in miles because I can't think in kilometers. So that's nothing to bat your eye at.
Yeah, we still have a long day.
We're just making it.
We got a little cheat today.
I couldn't find anything closer to Burgos.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
So
we
I
could
had
have.
to go all the way to Hontanas.
Yeah, we could have walked it, but if you can't find accommodations,
You can't.
you got to go to the next place.
And I have a few places down the road that I cannot find accommodations. Well, especially coming out of the big cities like that, it's like I really need to be suffering like that.
So it looks to me like the Camino just follows this main road.
This is our stop.
Is this? Camino.
Because you feel bad when you first start doing it. It's like, oh, I feel so bad. But 31 kilometers, so that's 19 miles. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
But
It's
what
too
we
much.
have to understand is that when we decide to do this, it is our Camino. We must do it our way. We're healing our soul and our spirit, but we got to protect our body.
Oh, this is wonderful.
That's great.
So
Thank you for sharing.
when I send my pack, somebody said, "Oh, you're not with the pack," and I said, "I hold enough trauma and sorrow that I gotta release, instead of causing physical pain. That's all I'm gonna focus on." So I'm
Exactly.
here.
All the practical.
I'm here to release my burdens, not to add physical pain. And I learned
This is your
that.
fourth Camino.
My fourth Camino.
Wow.
Yes.
Huh. It's okay for me to record. That's really very, very. Yeah. Well, because people don't quite understand.
No.
It's the same thing like with the Albergue case. People don't understand that it's kind of they're loud, they're noisy. It's hard to get a good night's sleep, and it's not like you're cheating if you stay in a hotel.
No.
You're getting a good night's sleep, which if you don't get that, and you're going to be a pretty grumpy person.
I feel it's a modicum
Stay
of
home.
respect and understanding that we're sharing space. So,
Yes. With the community-wise.
be more cautious. You have to respect everyone if you want respect in return. I feel the same way.
Do you stay in the Albergues?
Yeah.
or-
What's
I switch. We
Yeah.
switch up. Sometimes we need the privacy. We need a private room and bathroom because it's also hard to use the bathrooms here.
in the
In the
Albergue
albergues.
case?
Yeah. Someone used it the other day. We were in Belorado, and it smelled like death, and I just felt I was fighting a demon all night. And I
But
told her I can't do that.
Well, did the Albergue smell like it, or the bathroom smelled like it?
The bathroom, whoever was there, God bless their soul, because
Oh, okay. It was a woman. It was not a shared bathroom.
No.
It was.
and
She released
and
the
I'm
she
very-
released the demon and left it behind.
because I'm a sacred healer, so I pick up on that. And I woke up with swollen eyes,
Oh, wow.
very nasty attitude. That's not my demeanor anymore since my first Camino. I released all my rage. And so I just think, you know what, when you're walking, I'm very assertive, but on this one, I just let people go, except that one lady from Australia who was saying, who should be our president?
She
Who's
should
worthy?
become the president.
No, she was telling another person, they were talking about the United States.
Oh, and who should be our
And
president?
who should be our president, because this one's this and that one's, and I'm sitting there and I'm like,
It-
no, Margie, no.
You live there. You
just-
should ask a local
Exactly.
person, because CNN is not a good resource for news.
New England, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lived in Florida 17 years. I just moved back home. So, and what I've learned through all the Caminos, she and I finished a winter one in December.
Wow.
Here,
Frances, yeah.
already starting in Saint Jean.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
In Saint John in winter.
December,
Did you have
yes.
any trouble getting over the pass?
No, we had to go around about Carlos.
Okay, so you took the lower route.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was still just difficult, yeah.
Huh.
And then hardly nobody. We practically shared the albergues that were open with a bunch of Koreans,
Oh.
and they're pleasant and respectful. So
The
I-
Korean.
Yes.
They do take over the kitchens, though, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
You know.
But they probably make food for you.
They bring, yeah, they offer. And so my first Camino was in 2017. I came alone and I did the Camino Frances. The second one we did the Portuguese route. The third one in the winter, and now this
Oh.
one. And I'm a widow. She's divorced, and then I said, now we got to go home and save more money so we could do it.
Huh.
Again.
Well, what do you get when you do the Camino? This is the fourth time. What
is the fourth
it's hard. I mean, I don't care.
First time I did it because my husband had just passed away, and I spent 6 years tending to him with ALS.
Sit.
ALS.
Like
Lou Gehrig's disease.
Lou Gehrig disease, yes.
So then,
Oh, so you were with him and you took care of, sort of took care
2
of.
weeks before our first wedding anniversary, he was diagnosed. So our whole
2 weeks before your which second?
first wedding anniversary.
He was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease.
But he was misdiagnosed for 2.5 years with fibromyalgia. So I tell anybody, go get a second, third, fourth opinion.
Just because it grew.
We would have known and prepared better.
Huh.
So ALS tried to take us hostage, but it didn't. But I spent 6 years as his nurse ratchet sometimes.
Yeah.
And so when he passed away, I was like, who am I now? What do I do? So I saw the movie. I heard
The
Paulo
Way,
Coelho.
The Way.
Yeah, on Oprah talking about how he wrote his first book, The Pilgrimage. So I said, you know what? I came up not knowing nothing. My backpack, my book, money to change, and that was it. And it was the best thing. And I'm Puerto Rican and Italian. Grew up in one of the roughest cities in Connecticut, so I had a lot of rage. And believe it or not, I left it here. I got angry, but I don't have that rage. The second one was after 4 months after my husband died, I took care of my mom with dementia. So she lived with me for 4 years until she died. Same bedroom my husband died in. So we did that, and I carried her ashes. I was supposed to leave her in Finisterre,
Like
but I couldn't.
But that's a lot of, well, but it's a big, when they're cremated, it's a big.
Yeah, but I just brought a piece of
Okay,
her.
I was going to say.
And I was going to release her, and then I'm like, now you're coming back home. But she traveled with me.
And you took the ashes back
I
home?
took the ashes back home.
What'd you do with them? Did you put them like on a
we have
mantle?
them. My sisters and I, we still have them. Everybody says, when are you going to give it? Why?
Okay, so you
They're
came.
fine where they're at.
So you weren't ready to release
No,
her in
not
the
yet.
purest way.
Not yet. Let her stay with us a little more.
Huh.
And then the winter one, we just wanted to see what we're made out of.
That's
At
so
55,
interesting.
what are we made out of?
Huh.
And it was awesome. It wasn't cold when you walk. See,
Yeah.
people say, oh, winter. No, it's cold when you start off like anything.
Yeah.
And then this one was going good until she hurt her knee. We haven't walked for 3 days, but we're trusting the process.
Yeah.
The Camino
Yes,
provides.
it's time to
You
go.
got to trust the universe when they tell you, sit your ass down and rest. And then tomorrow we're going to give it a try. We're going to start.
So you'll stay here another night just to sort of recover a little bit more.
Yeah, tonight we're staying
Yeah.
here, and then tomorrow we start walking again until
Yeah.
we take another rest day. Because
Yeah, see.
you know what happened?
Guy in a garbage truck pointed to us which way the Camino was. I thought that was, yeah, I would say you have the thing about the Camino, you have a immediate camaraderie with anybody who's got a backpack, certainly with a shell. It's quite,
Automatic connection.
okay, so it's a little bit,
I'm not sure if it's here or here. That says Albergue.
yeah, see. Oh, okay, so we cut off, I don't know how many, maybe 10 kilometers with that bus ride out of Burgos.
Yeah, about 10 kilometers.
Yeah, and you know, you got to remember, a lot of that walking through the city is just industrial,
It's just
relentless,
kilometers that are
lots of
just
cars.
annoying.
Well, it's also, I mean, if we accommodations are sparse, and sometimes it's too far to walk from one place.
And we just met this woman, Margareta,
Margareta, yeah.
who had she'd done her 4th Camino, and she was just lovely. So
Yeah.
we were supposed to meet her today.
Well, and I think I've been leaning a little bit more towards getting a little bit more interviews with people and sort of posting why people are doing it. I think that's, I would say that's, for me, it's getting a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, she made the comments such that you're here to heal your soul, not to hurt your body.
Yeah. Well, again, I think the cool thing, there's an automatic camaraderie. You can be from every walk of life, every color of the skin, every social environment, and if you got a backpack and you got a shell, you've got something in common with everybody you meet. I mean, it may not last longer conversations. Some people you just connect with, but generally speaking, you're someone on a similar path. Voila. Yeah, see, here's a nice little municipal albergue. This is a small little town just outside of Burgos. So the bus, again, they're tricky to navigate, and I'm kind of surprised at how few buses leave. I mean, I think there's like one bus for the whole day. Maybe there's another one later, but it's not like every 30 minutes you get a bus ride. Quite the contrary, you really have to kind of watch the schedule.
It was one bus today.
One bus.
That's it.
I mean, it was cheap. Like what was it? I think it cost $3.20 for both of us. So we're not talking about. It's definitely a cheap way to kind of cut out a little corner. This is a cool little.
Yeah, I mean, now you're automatically in something interesting instead of all these miles of just getting out of a city. There's an arrow over there.
Yeah, you are doing yourself a little psychological break by skipping.
Cities can be so just energetic suck.
Yeah.
Especially the outskirts of the city where they're just industrial and they're ugly, you know, and just a lot of people and a lot of traffic, big buses, and you know, they're just yuck. So, oh man, it's so cool. They seem to be everywhere.
They seem to like churches.
It's really ubiquitous around here that those storks are on top of the churches. It's very cool.
I have to admit that we took an extra day off at Burgos, and you know, my legs they're up for it now. They're ready to put some clicks on, and I would say without that day to sort of it just makes it just drudgery, which isn't the reason. Oh boy, this is a beautiful church.
The nests are just amazing.
Huh.
It's so cool.
I wouldn't mind that.
Everywhere.
Okay, we arrived and took the bus to Tardajos, and we just left. Cute little town, and it puts you basically at the beginning of the Camino in a more natural environment. So that was just past a young woman, and I made a joke. I said, "Oh, Santiago's the other direction." She said, "Yeah, but the town ahead has no place. There's no room." And so she's having to go where the bus just dropped us off to find accommodations for the night. So again, it's not as, and we're in, I would certainly call this low season. We're still in the springtime. I mean, it's just like we're just beginning of May, not even high season. So some of these smaller places, they just don't have enough beds, and there isn't hotels. So that's kind of why we took the bus today, skipped a section because we couldn't find anything in this area. So be prepared. Fortunately for her, it's like what, 1:30, less than 2 o'clock. So she's walking back to get a bed at the municipal albergue. So yeah, so when they say the Camino provides, well, maybe not exactly. Maybe you have to improvise, and it's a cute little town. Oh, great map. Rabia de las Calzadas, I think that's where she went. That's where we're trying to get a bus for. Rabia de las Calzadas. I'm gonna find out what calzadas means. I mean, whew, that'd be a bite to arrive. I mean, I think that's why people kind of take off early. So Rabia de las Calzadas, it doesn't seem Spanish, but it means roadway. So that's kind of a cool little, cut out the silhouette and projected it to the background. Again, they've got some very nice, notice that they've got some very nice sculptures on the Camino. Entrance to Rabia de Calzadas. Calzadas means roadways. It shouldn't seem Spanish, does it? So that young woman got here, but there were no beds, and she's here like 2 o'clock. So when those pilgrims leave with their helmet torches on, and they're the first to arrive in these towns, they're probably the ones that get the places. And I certainly wouldn't say 2 o'clock is late. I don't know, maybe she could have stayed at the hotel, but she didn't want to spend the money. Which, you know, perhaps that's what people do. They keep it on the cheap. And that's the culture they want to follow. Means calzadas means roadways, which I have to ask a local. That I've never heard that word. I think that's how you get messed up, you know. Somebody uses a word that's slightly out of typical normal decorums or colloquialisms, if you will, and it just throws you. She got to this albergue and it was full. 6 kilometers.
Nice to see those numbers going down.
And they all looked at the star, recognized with great gaze, Mateo. Funny thing about the Camino, you don't think about turning around and seeing where you just came from. It's like the eyes are too busy looking ahead, and then you forget that, look at this is where I came from. Is that me? Is that me when I was born? When I was born, I knew and had knowledge of God intuitively. And then I had eyes and I looked forward, and I kept looking forward, and I got assuaded by the material goods of life and the shiny object that took me further and further away from everything in that which I knew when I was first born.
I'm starting to think this is less about making it to Santiago. It's like Santiago's just a symbol for the self. It's like just a point in the distance to say, I'm going to go there, I'm going to make it there, I'm going to be determined, I'm going to be self-disciplined to find my way back to myself.
Well, humans, we have an innate nature to have a goal, setting a goal. So I think maybe that's what Santiago does. Otherwise, well, we'll just stop here. Well, we'll just stop there. But the fact that it's something so far into the future, you cannot even start at the beginning.
It's still attainable.
It's something that you can't see, but you're walking towards. It's kind of like the perfect self, if you will, that you can't see it, but you every day you're walking step by step, and you're getting closer to this perfection.
All the distractions of life that have gotten you further and further away from who you are in your soul without this body. But the body's what's taking you here. It's all kind of a weird duality.
Yeah, so you're getting is a little bit of the ramblings of the mind as you're on the Camino.
And we're starting off in the Meseta today, so we're trying to get our minds ready for it's definitely hot today.
Well, it's
manageable. It's not like 90 or anything.
It's
not
like
75 probably, but there's no shade. I mean, you're completely exposed.
You're also not getting that Texas heat getting blown at you. There's a slight coolness in the breeze as you're walking. We're also here at the end of May, so I mean beginning of May.
Yeah.
Beginning of May. So
May 10th.
May 10th to be exact. So we're not in the cooker.
Yeah, I think this would be really rough. I know July and August are supposed to be the busiest times on the trail, and I can see why people would skip the Meseta if they were going to be doing it, because this would be blistering, I would think, in the summertime.
Well, you're not only getting radiation from the sun, you're also getting reflected heat coming off of this white gravel, the white road. So you're basically on the cooker.
I need more water and a hat, sunscreen, or sun shirt.
Well, we are definitely on top of some type of a mesa, that's for sure. And here we are, the valley below. Being somewhat still in springtime, we got it nice and green. This clearly feels much more arid. Huh. I don't know if that's our town, but that looks like about 2 miles away. So this woman is from up ahead of me is from Croatia, and she's got her music blasting. So I just try to say hello to her a little bit, and got a funny vibe, and decided to take a nice drink of water and let her get ahead of me. I think that's probably a little bit how the Camino is. Not everybody you run into you're going to make any type of a connect, and some of them just probably do want to be left alone or very specialized in who they'll hang with. So I mean, I think that's the good thing. You can stop and let them walk ahead, and why waste your time if you're not picking up the vibe? That's what I say. We're entering a little town, Hornillo. Seem to be a lot of little albergues. Hospital de Peregrinos. I think that's like one of those real hospitals that are, but you have to have a real emergency. They won't just take if you got a sore foot. We're about an hour and a half from our final destination.
2 hours.
We just 2 hours. We just left Hornillos. And I guess Hornillos, if I understood the guy in the bar correctly, it means like the men who work on gutters, a specialty, something like that. So like gutters. We'll look it up. It's nice, green. The sun's kind of going down a little bit. We do kind of feel like we have to hoof it a little bit to our next town. So we get there in time for, which I don't get, like the hotels are usually open late, but I don't know, might be half the hotels, they call themselves an albergue, so it's hard to know.
Or a hospital.
Is it a true hotel? Oh, it's like it's about close to 6 o'clock. And I don't know, it's interesting, you get the feeling that the Camino at this hour is your Camino. There's nobody else on it. It's open. And it's kind of a nice solitude. Look at my scene. Just a lovely walk through the countryside. No cars, no people. Man, I'm beginning to feel this day. I mean, even though we took a bus and cut off.
No, but we still have, it's 13 miles today.
Yeah, 13 miles.
Just because you cut off a little, it just means you're safe.
We did stop in Hornillo and had a little beer and a little painting break. Yeah, half lemonade. Not too bad. It's kind of refreshing-ish. Yeah, not so heavy.
It's a hot day.
But it's still kind of pretty, you know, the sunlight coming down.
About an hour and 15 minutes to our.
You know, only 477 kilometers to go. Jeez, we haven't gone anywhere. Boy, we're still about an hour from our destination and the old hoofs are getting pooped. And I still don't see a town.
45 minutes.
I mean, I don't see nothing out here but grass. We're gonna take a little break. So a little funny that the Melissa and I have, she says, it's 47 minutes to our destination. And I said, tell you what, let's just sit here for 20 minutes and then we'll only have 27 minutes. And she says, oh, I like the way you think.
I said, I don't think it works like that.
Yeah. So just think about it. You could just sit here for 20, maybe 30. Why don't you just wait here for 40 minutes and then you'll only have 7 minutes
And then you'll
left.
stand up and it'll be there.
I mean, but not.
I see some buildings.
I mean, it seems like we've been going forever and we're not seeing one piece of civilization that's
Out in the middle of nowhere. Seems like being in a desert. Like, do you see something?
have like a big dink hole.
Yeah, we gotta avoid those big dink holes.
You know what? You know exactly what
Those
that
are to
means.
be avoided at all costs. The big
Yeah.
dink holes. It's definitely down in a little
Yeah.
valley. Oh, my goodness, look at that. It's 8 o'clock.
Sheesh. That's our Hontanas.
Do you want to go on this?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you got the thing that takes us right to, because it may be in the city, you know.
Well, it is.
How unusual. Like, this is an unusual place.
The way it's tucked in like that.
Yeah. If I had power, I'd take. Oh, how odd. They got the Korean flag. I mean, what's up with that? That's got a nice little spa. It's a cute little town. But apparently, for some reason, the Koreans really like this Camino. Yeah, it's a cute town, like a little bit more put together. The structures are. Huh. Well, Melissa, this would have been the town to take an extra day. They've got like therapy baths and yeah, this town looks like it would be a cooler 2-day stay instead of, I can't say Burgos was all that yippity. Can't say it was yippity at all. It's just another big city. But this town is like super cute. Man, I'd spend hostels galore. I'd spend 2 days here. Yeah, I mean, this is like totally worked out. Here are some of the other rooms at this place. This would be another double bed. And the Dora would be for 3. So if you got 3 friends, this would be a perfect room. Showers are funny in that the floors just get wet. So that's about it. They're very nicely built, good construction, good quality.